even before the beginning of my channel, my very first video on my old channel, Jeff and Mike's Super Cool Podcast, which don't ever look that up, it's really ratchet. But even on that channel, my first video was covering the iPhone event for that year, which was the XS and XS Max, which were a bit underwhelming. But because of that, every year since then, I've had my obligatory annual iPhone predictions video. And because UPS is ghetto and the Apple Watch didn't get here in time, this is that video, you guys. It's the obligatory iPhone predictions video. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and break down these iPhone 12 rumors, and I'm gonna give you kind of my opinion of what I hope to see. That's not gonna happen, but you know, dreamers can dream. So what did I do? I went to go round up the iPhone 12 rumors, but there was too many, so I just went to MacRumors and looked at their article because they already had a roundup article, just to kind of remind myself of what the rumors were. Because honestly, with everything going on this year, I haven't been following the iPhone rumors that much, and I kind of wanted to be surprised when the new iPhone drops, so that way I could be like, oh, I didn't expect that, Apple. That's what I want to happen when the new iPhone drops. I'm sorry. I want to sit there and I want to be like crying and stuff, and people have to give me tissues because the new iPhone is so great and I'm so surprised. So yes, I haven't been following rumors up to this point, so I had to go look up everything. But there is one rumor that we know is 94% true, and that's the fact that the new iPhone is probably not going to have a charger in the box, because at the event last week, they announced that the Apple Watch was to come with a charger, and their effort to, you know, help the environment, reduce waste, all that stuff, aka they saving some money, and of course, the stuff still gonna cost the same price, or possibly more. So no, you're not gonna get like a little discount to go and buy a charger. You either got a charger or you gotta go buy one. They don't care. They don't care if you don't got no charger for free. Like if you ain't got no old charger, they're like, look, you're already spending like $700 to $1,000 on this phone. You can buy a charger. That's how Apple feels. But you know, for people who ain't got it, they ain't got it, and it kind of sucks. So we do know that's gonna be true. Another rumor is they're gonna be doing different sizes this time. There's a rumor that they're gonna have a 5.4-inch iPhone, a 6.1-inch iPhone, a 6.1-inch iPhone, and a 6.7-inch iPhone. And no, I didn't make a mistake by saying 6.1 twice. There's supposed to be two 6.1-inch iPhones. The 6.1 size is the previous size of the regular iPhone 11, like the LCD model. The rumors are all supposed to be OLEDs, and they're gonna have a 5.4-inch and a 6.1 that are gonna be like the regular iPhone 12. And then they're gonna have another 6.1 and 6.7 that's gonna be the Pro and the Pro Max. So they're gonna have two that are the same size, but one's gonna be regular, one's gonna be Pro. And if it's true that they all have OLED screens, that's really gonna make the lineup even more muddy as far as the differences between like the regular and the Pro. So I don't really know what else they could do at this point, unless they're gonna do some kind of software magic, which I feel like they really should. I feel like there should be something software there for the Pro people to pony up that extra money, because I got the 11 Pro last year, Jeff got the 11, and looking at his phone, I'm like, I could have been fine with an 11. I spent $300 extra for no reason. So I think that there should be some software trickery there to make it worth it. Of course, the other rumor is the cameras, the regular ones, the 5.4 and 6.1 inch regular 12s are supposed to just have the same kind of dual camera setup, probably like the standard and ultra wide like the 11 did. And then the Pro is gonna have the triple camera, plus it might have that depth sensor like they added in the new iPad Pro, so they can do better AR tricks and, you know, stuff like that. You can have dinosaurs walking on your desk and be happy about that. So that is one thing that's supposed to come to the new iPhone, is the depth camera. Now there's another rumor that's been kind of iffy about if the notch is gonna shrink or not. Personally, I don't care about the notch shrinking. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, the design is gonna be new and the notch is gonna shrink and blah, blah, blah. They're not getting rid of it, then why does it matter? I mean, yeah, maybe it's gonna be like a little bit smaller according to the rumors, but then there's also some rumors that are saying that it might just be the cheaper iPhones that have the redesigned notch, and the Pro is still gonna have the same size one. It's stupid. So I'm just gonna say the notch thing is probably just not gonna be true. If it is, it's probably not gonna be that big of a deal. The other rumor is they're supposed to do a more like industrial style iPhone 4 design with, you know, the flat edges and the corners and stuff. That would be nice because the iPhone 4 was like honestly one of my favorite phones. I had that phone the longest out of any phone. I think I had it for like 3.5 years before the sleep button finally stopped working. And I had to use the accessibility mode to use the on-screen sleep button. And I finally just sold it. I think I got a 5 used because the 5S just came out and I got like a used 5 right at the time. Yeah, but I've never had a phone as long as I had the iPhone 4. So it would be cool to kind of go back to that design. The same thing they've gone to with the new iPads. It would be similar to that. So that's the rumor, which, you know, I think that that'll probably be true because it'll kind of bring the design and symmetry what they're doing with the iPad Air and the iPad Pro. And yeah, that doesn't seem too far-fetched to me. But then of course it's gonna be the new 814 processor that's gonna go in there. They're not gonna release a new iPhone without putting a new processor in it. I'm interested to see if they'll reuse the A13 and the cheaper phones to kind of keep the cost down on them if they use OLED. I don't think that they'll do that because they've been big on like the new phone, all of them gonna have the same performance. But I just feel like the Pro needs something a little bit more. They need something more. If you remember, I whined on the channel a lot about my XS Max because that was a phone I had before I had my 11 Pro, what I have currently. It was big, it was inconvenient. The 6.7 inch one is supposed to be bigger than the current Max. I whined a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I made some videos like, this is too big. I literally whined about it because the size was stupid. And I was like, you know, all the screen real estate and I'm not getting anything extra. I think the Pro phones should have split screen apps. Something that just, you know, like the iPad style split screen apps, maybe like a horizontal homepage where you can flip it and, you know, have the homepage either vertical or horizontal. Not homepage, so, you know, your home screen, like the icons will flip when you orient the phone. Things like that, just some extra features software-wise, where people aren't gonna care that much if they don't have it, but the people who are spending more money are getting rewarded for buying the new phone. That's one of the things that I want. For me personally, no matter how good these iPhones are, I'm really enjoying the 11 Pro. I don't see myself upgrading this year. I said the same thing last year, but honestly, I kind of hated my XS Max, and by kind of, I mean I made a few videos about how much I hated it, and it was like a last minute decision. I was like, you know what, I don't want to keep a phone that I hate, and I got rid of it. And it was mainly a size thing, but also these cameras are bomb. So personally for me, I don't think that no matter how good it is, I don't think anybody that has an 11 Pro probably should upgrade. I mean, I haven't seen the phone yet, you know, none of us have seen the phone yet. None of us have been there, but I just don't think that it's really gonna blow the current generation out of the water. This is gonna be probably the iPhone 8 people that are upgrading, because at this point you're probably like 3 years into your phone, and then this is going to be the best time to upgrade, of course, because, you know, you've gotten 3 years out of it. The battery's probably old and crusty and dying. The other thing that I personally wanted myself that I'm not going to get, of course, is the high refresh rate. Now, if they brought the high refresh rate screen to the Pro model, I'd be like, okay, that's a killer feature. Like, I have the iPad Pro. I petitioned for the iPad Pro just because it has 120 hertz refresh rate. And like, that's why in my last video, when I said when the iPad Air came out, I was like, personally, I would buy a refurbished 2018 iPad Pro because Apple sells refurbished for $550. It's even cheaper than the Air, and you get the high refresh rate. Like, forget everything else. It might have a small processor advantage, but the high refresh rate. Now, that rumor's kind of been squashed. It's already said that they're not gonna do it. But until they get something like that on the Pro line, I feel like they just need more. Like, even the iPad, even though it's like 1 or 2 features, even the iPad is doing a better job of, you know, being distinguished from the other iPads. Barely with the new Air, barely, but you know, it's got some things that make you want to go towards an iPad Pro. So, high refresh rate is my want. USB-C, at least on the Pro model. I don't think they're going to go away from Lightning anytime soon. They're probably going to stick with the Lightning and the USB-C because they're going to be like, oh, all the people, their accessories, and you know, they might buy some accessories from the weird Aldi aisle. And I'm like, who does that? Like, who just goes and buys random iPhone accessories from the weird Aldi aisle? Like, sorry, it's getting hot in here. But like, who does that? It's hot. The USB-C thing, I think I've asked for that for the last 2 years, and it hasn't happened. So, you know, I'm not gonna get too excited, but I mean, it would bring it in line with the MacBook Pro, the iPad Pro. They both have USB-C. The iPhone Pro, USB-C. I'm just saying, it would just connect everything up. But I don't see them doing it. Like, if they do it, I'd be shocked. I'm like, ah. And then of course, the main feature, this is gonna be like the selling point of the phone. The camera thing is gonna be, you know, that's cool, 3D, all that stuff. The selling point of this phone is gonna be 5G. Apple is gonna talk up how great 5G is, how much faster it is, even though realistically for most people, it's only gonna be a little bit faster than like LTE that they have now. And it's not gonna make that much of a difference for a while. I mean, it's still gonna be faster. Of course, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do a 5G phone, but that's gonna be the new thing that they talk up as 5G. I think that's really gonna probably be the focus. And unless they gate 5G to the Pro models, which they could. I mean, to me, like 5G rollout is still early. It's not that big of a deal not to have a 5G phone because LTE is still pretty good, and 5G right now is not that much better until it's more widespread and we can get that millimeter wave going. It's not gonna be going. It's probably gonna be like in highly populated areas, but still like more spots with millimeter wave, instead of replacing Wi-Fi. Basically, until 5G expands, it's not like a rush to go and buy a 5G phone, but I bet Apple centers a lot of this presentation around it, if there's even a presentation, because I thought that event last week was gonna be like the iPhone event, and they just did the iPad and the Apple Watch, and that was pretty much it. And then of course their services, which I really am excited about, Apple Fitness. But it would just be weird for them to just do the iPhone at the event. So I have another theory, and that theory, which this is way far-fetched and it's probably not gonna happen, is another HomePod, either like a cheaper one or just one to replace the current model that's even more high-end, and then that one would just drop in price to be the cheaper one. Or they just come out with a cheaper model, and then that one's still like the boom, whole house experience kind of thing, and the cheaper one is like, oh, your upstairs, sister speaker. I mean, I like the HomePod. I roasted it in my review because it has a lot of issues, and I can't really recommend it to people unless you're like a diehard Apple fan and you just want to stream stuff from your iPhone to the HomePod, or you have Apple Music, whatever. But it's honestly a really good speaker, and I really want them to make another one, and I really want it to sell so that way it improves. They get more stuff on HomeKit, so I don't have to have an Echo connected anymore. But that's just me. So that's gonna be its own thing. So I would like to see some kind of HomePod announcement, but they've really been like quiet about the HomePod for a long time, so I just don't see it happening. One other thing they might announce, and this is just purely my speculation, is the new Apple Silicone Mac, because we're getting close to the end of the year. They just have one event. I mean, they could have another event after the iPhone event, but like just doing an iPhone seems like it'd be kind of sparse. So I could just see them doing the iPhone and the new Mac. The new Mac is definitely something they're going to want to have on a big stage. So I just don't see them, just dropping it slowly. Unless I do the Mac Mini, then, Mac Mini is kind of like, it's always been the redheaded stepchild of the Mac ecosystem. But yeah, that's what I think is upcoming. I think the size leaks are probably accurate. Notch redesign, probably not. We're definitely not getting a charger in the box. They'll probably have like a closer to the iPad Pro style design. 120 hertz refresh rate would be nice, and USB-C, but it's probably not gonna happen. Possibly whatever the first Apple Silicone Mac is supposed to come out before the end of the year, so this is like super like slim, hopeful. Maybe a new HomePod. That's my expectations of the Apple event for this year. We'll see what happens, and then when you watch this video, or go back and watch it, and you'll see I was 110% wrong. Or if you watch this video after the event, you're like, what the heck was he talking about? Be mad, upset, and I'm mad, and I'm bringing this video to a conclusion. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe, and always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace. Man, I really do love the Apple events. Every year. Such a huge fan.